Hey friends, it's Stacy here with Stacy Makes. Welcome back to this channel where we talk about all things plushie, amigurumi, crochet, markets, patterns, yarn, all of that fun stuff. So if you are new here, welcome. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So obviously my name is Stacy, and today, let me just tell you what we're going to talk about today, because springtime is not full of markets really. We have a lot more market prep, trying new patterns, just trying to stay consistent, doing more, trying patterns out, just trying to build up some inventory during the slow season. So today I have 7 new patterns I tried. Most of them are just small things because as I said last week's video, I wanted to focus on small makes. I was really missing a lot of small things, and during the holiday break and then through January, really I was just making whatever I wanted, which was a lot of bigger stuff, and which I also needed, but definitely need the small stuff, especially when it's not holiday season. People usually aren't buying the big stuff quite as often. So I've got 7 new patterns to go over. I have the rest of what I made this week that was not new that I'll show you and give you a total of everything that I made for my market inventory. And then I have a new pattern tester call out, and so I will show you those new patterns and I will go over those. And I want to talk about a little bit more about the yarn the Alize Velluto yarn that I've talked about in the last couple of videos. I'm getting lots of questions from people asking me some comparison questions, and I really want you guys to be informed. This yarn is not really easy to get. I guess it is easy to get. It's just most of the places that you purchase it from ship it straight from Turkey. So the best value is to go all in and buy a lot. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to do that, I want you to be really informed. So I'm just going to kind of go over that yarn just a little bit more so that you just have a little more information in case you're thinking about switching to that yarn. Okay. Because I don't mind to be an influencer, an informer, but I definitely don't want you guys to feel like you got duped or tricked or it wasn't what I said it was. So I put my great big huge new comfy sweatshirt on today just so that we could just be comfy, and my hair is just doing whatever it wants today. And so you'll probably see it stick up and do whatever as I move around today. Also, if you notice this on my hand, I just want to point it out, let you know that I am okay. That I just hit my knuckle on a door frame. Like, I literally turned around and the door frame like hit me right here like 3 or 4 days ago, and it's still healing. So I bruise really easily and it looks horrible, but I really am fine. So as I show you things, if you see that, just know that I am good. This doesn't hurt, but it looks disgusting. So, and I apologize. So, okay, let's jump right into new patterns this week. As always, everything I talk about will be down in the description below, so you guys can link to the Etsy and or the Instagram of the pattern designer, because I want you to have access to that. Definitely want you to go check it out and purchase it if you are interested in it. Follow the designer as well on Instagram. So everything will be down there as well. So let's just get right into, most of these are patterns that I had, 4 or 5 of them. 4 are patterns I had bought and not tried yet. 1 was a test and 2 are free on Instagram. So let's get into the ones the paid ones first. So this here is Kiki the kitty. Don't mind my ears on this one being a little off. He's just special, you know. These are both made out of burlap blanket yarn. This is old formula, like this is Pebble Dot, I think is what it's called. Old formula, rougher, bigger around. This is newer formula, mystical, same hook size. And as you can tell, this just has such a better shape, and it is definitely a little smaller, obviously. But this was my first one, and this was my second one. These worked up really quickly, which is what I bought the pattern for and was hoping for. But Kiki the kitty, she has a couple other ones that have this kind of same style where they kind of sit like this. But you can see like there's bobbles around where it looks like it's just kind of sitting up. The tail is adorable. There's a long tail in the back. This one curved a little bit more than this one did. It's obviously, it's no-sew. You work it from the top to the bottom, and then you surface crochet the ears. Super easy pattern, guys. This was not hard at all. Great alternative to doing like a loaf cat or something, but I bought this pattern thinking, I think that after I get these ears down and kind of figure out my placement a little bit better, I did better. I feel like I did better on this one. I don't know. But once I get the ear placement down, I mean, I really feel like I could make one of these this one took me a little longer because this yarn was ugh. But this one, like right around 30 minutes. I want to say though that I could probably do it in 20 to 25. Especially if you're batch making and you were just making a couple and then grabbing them later and putting all the ears on or something. Maybe even faster than that. I mean, it's really not hard. It's like, I don't remember how many rows, maybe 15 rows or so, 15 rounds, a couple of bobbles, a couple of surface crochet ears. Really what takes you the longest after the fact is surface crocheting these ears and weaving those ends in, and then doing your face embroidery, which she doesn't call for the little whiskers. I just added those myself. So super cute. I think I will make some more of these. I plan to put these in a $10 bin, I think is where I'm gonna put them at. I used to make the little mini loaf cats. That was a free pattern on Instagram. But Tara makes my daughter, if you're new here, sorry, my daughter does the markets with me, but Old Soul Factory Crochet is her YouTube and Instagram, but she makes the loaf cats in all sizes, including the little mini ones. And so I think I'm going to stop making the little mini cats because she makes the smallest kitten by Annie Caraway Art. But this would be an alternative style that I could put maybe in the $10 or $12 bin. So it might end up in the $12 bin, but this is Burnett, came out a good size. I believe in the pattern she uses Parfait Chunky, and obviously that's tiny and adorable and cute too. And maybe it would go faster this one definitely was faster in a better yarn, but maybe it would be even faster in a smoother, more chenille yarn than blanket yarn. But anyway, super cute. Sorry, Robin. I already said it twice, I think. Super cute. I know it can be annoying when someone just says that a bajillion times, but these are adorable. I really like this pattern. I just made it last night, actually. I was thinking, what can I make? I was actually watching Addison Murphy's crochet on YouTube, catching up. She hasn't done a vlog in a while, but I was catching up on her vlog, and I'm like, I have that pattern, and I've been looking for small stuff. I'm like, why haven't I made that? And so I made these last night while I was watching her vlog. Or actually, I watched the end of her vlog, and then I was watching somebody else's. But anyway, just about dropped it. Kiki the kitty, great pattern. I don't think it's very expensive either. I don't know, it's been a while since I bought it. So, okay, that's the first of the paid patterns. This is the biggest thing I made this week. This is Mazy the Mallard by Sia and Penn. Mazy, M-O-Z-Z-Y. It's an unstuffed kind of snuggler style. This is in the new yarn that I have, so it's not as big as if you had done it in, obviously like in a Burnett yarn, it would be bigger. But this is no sew. You make the wings and the feet ahead of time, and then you you work the body up from the bottom, sew the feet in, keep going, sew the wings in, color change, and then you actually close up this neck, because these are half double crochets. You close up the neck so that you can move on to single crochets, and stuffing will go down into the body part of the snuggler as it gets used. Hindsight, I wish I would have embroidered the eyes on this guy. I don't know what I was thinking when I think I just was doing the pattern and following the instructions, and I was like, oh yeah, let's put eyes in it, and got it all done, and I'm like, oh, Stacy, like if it's really gonna be for a baby, you probably should have embroidered those. But anyway, you surface crochet the bill on, the beak, bill, whatever you want to call it. There's like a top part and then a little bottom part that you do. I don't know if I did it completely right. I still think it looks okay. I don't know that it looks as cute as her pattern, but if you go to look it up, you'll see what I mean. So, and maybe it's because my yarn, maybe she used a thicker Burnett yarn or something. My yarn's, the Alize yarn is just a little bit thinner than Burnett. So cute pattern, not hard at all. I mean, these wings are made kind of like turtle flipper is, and then these were fast and leave them open and crochet them into a round. You also come back and surface crochet a little. I think this was surface crocheted on. Yes, you come back and do that too. So Mazy the mallard, adorable. He's not super big, but he has probably a good full skein of Alize Velluto yarn in him total between all the colors. And maybe 45, or maybe an hour actually of time between making all of the pieces and everything. I did not time myself. Again, guys, I'm not, right now I'm just trying to enjoy what I'm doing and giving you some estimates on my time. I'm not doing challenges to see how fast I can do anything. I'm just trying to enjoy what I'm doing. I would say though that he took around an hour between the pieces and everything. But at his size, I wrote down that I'm going to do 26 between the yarn and the time. We'll see if I can get that out of him. But flat, unstuffed body, just a little snuggler thing. The sad part though is the eyes. I wish I would have done the embroidered eyes so that I could have said it was baby safe. So that may keep me from being able to sell it to a baby. We'll see. Anyway, Mazy the mallard by Sia and Penn. So that's the second one. The third paid pattern. I was just tired of hearing about everyone making Myrtle the turtle and me not making it. So Chastity and Designs is the designer of Myrtle the turtle. She had, I think, a sale that went on around maybe Christmas time, and I'm like, I keep wondering what this pattern is like to make, because most turtles have, besides Tara has a turtle out called Tice the turtle, and you make his head and it's crocheted into the round, but its flippers are actually chained off, so you don't have to make flippers, which makes it super fast to market prep. But I try to stay away from the stuff that she market preps, like the loaf cats and her turtles, and she does snakes and stuff like that. So I try to stay away from the stuff that she does a lot of, and I just do whatever else. So I usually make Fred the sea turtles, which are much bigger in size, and I do them in jumbo yarn and in Burnett yarn, and they are quite a bit bigger than Myrtle the turtle. But I know that Heather from Cottontail Crafts and Robin from Notting Hook Crochet talk about Myrtle the turtle a lot, and so I thought I'm going to give Myrtle the turtle a try. So this is Myrtle the turtle. If you find the coloring a little odd, it is because this is made out of one of the dappled skeins. Which I think is maybe back here. Sorry, it's just a mess. But that dappled skein right there started on the flippers, and then it changed over on me like mid last flipper, and then the head and the underbelly all got the same color. I really thought I was going to be able to finish every single flipper in the light color, and then it wasn't going to look so odd. With the head and the underbelly being a different color, I thought would be fine because it's a coordinating color. But anyway, the shell is also a dappled, but is obviously didn't even change colors while I was making it. Myrtle is pretty much a standard turtle construction, honestly. The front flippers are bigger than the back flippers, which saves you a little bit of time. Fred, either the same size, and I actually have made a version of Fred where I left a round off of the back ones, and nobody really notices or cares. I mean, and it did save me some time. So it is a mod that I've done before on Fred to save some time. There is a separate tail piece that I skipped. I'm like, yeah, this one's not big enough, or going to be able to be expensive enough to be making a whole separate tail. So I chained out 3 or 4 and then single crocheted back down into it when I got between the back flippers. Sorry, I'm trying to show you what I was doing and it was down too far. Probably, I think I should have chained out less, made it a little bit more stubby. I think it's a little bigger than I would have liked for it to have been. And I did tack the head back to the shell after closing up the bottom of the body. She does attach the flippers differently. The pattern that I do, like, she attaches them on this back side, not the single crocheted rounded edge of your flippers, but she crochets them in on this back edge. and all of them, the fronts and the back ones, which is different than what I've done before. Usually I crochet them on the rounded part, which then makes these flippers come more towards the front than to the side, which I like this look too. But nothing against this pattern. I probably, though, for the work, just because of all the pieces, you make a head, you make 4 flippers and a tail if you're making it like the pattern says, and crocheting everything in, probably still took me right under an hour to make this. I'm going to put 18 on Myrtle. And this is Burnett, which is, besides jumbo yarn, is the biggest yarn I have, and so it still didn't turn out super big. And I think that if you set and you batch make them, or you've made a lot of them, that it would be faster than that. I'm going to guess that Heather and Robin probably make it in 45 minutes or less. But this took me a good hour. And because it ended up being, I didn't know what size. I mean, I figured it was going to be right around the same size as Tice the Turtle. But it's maybe a tad bit smaller than Tice is. And Tara's probably going to make those anyway. I don't know that I'll make more unless she just decides that she doesn't want to make Tice anymore, which if she decides not to do that, I'll probably make the Tice, because you don't have to make the flippers. You just chain them out. So it's just going to be faster, because you're going to make a head and then you're going to just get started on the shell, and you're going to make all these pieces in the round. Now you do have to, like her Tice pattern, you do have to stop and think a little bit, because they aren't just a chain out. They actually are designed and look like kind of like a little bit of a flipper. So, and you do the front back is a little different from each other, and then when you go to the other side, you have to kind of reverse what you did on this side. So you have different instructions, but once you get used to it, like, it's not hard at all. Sorry, I'm supposed to be talking about this pattern, not Tice's pattern. So, okay, back to Myrtle the Turtle. Great pattern if you need a small turtle and you like to make flippers. You don't mind that work. It was a well-written pattern. I mean, I would still recommend that you buy it and try it if you're looking for something that's this size and made in this way. Cute, cute. I'm going to sell it for 18. Okay, that's the third one. The last paid one that I did was this little Poggy's Place elephant. So, I liked this little pattern. There's an elephant and a hippo together in a bundle that she has, and I bought the pack. I haven't tried the hippo yet. And I was just sitting here the other night, and I've got this. It's actually right down there too. But I have that Hobie pom-pommy type yarn down there. I don't have a lot of Hobie yarn, but I do have a little bit up here, and then I have a couple skeins down here that I bought, like maybe 12 to 16 skeins one time to try it. And I hadn't done anything with that pom-pommy type yarn yet, and I was sitting here looking at it going, what can I make with that? I want to try it with something small, and I have this pattern, and I'm gonna make this fun little elephant. Fun elephant. See? Ha! That was funny, wasn't it? Okay. You're not here for the comedy, obviously, because if my kids would tell you I am not funny. Anyway, super easy pattern for Poggy's Place. Again, all of her stuff is mini. This yarn is the same size as Parfait Chunky yarn, so it comes out fairly small. You work it from the back to the front, and then work the trunk out, which is kind of easier than working these really small going in, I feel like. And then you come back and use a chain space method to crochet the ears. Now, I think that I might have done something wrong on these ears. Was I supposed to attach them? Because then I saw her post, I think she posted, it's Kelly is her name, but I think she posted, and that looked like these ears were maybe attached down here. And I'm like, did I miss something? I don't know. Anyway, I still don't feel like they look bad. They just are not attached down there, and maybe they aren't supposed to. Maybe hers were either. They were just sitting in a way that made them look like they were. But cute little elephant. If I make this pattern again, it will probably be in jumbo yarn, or definitely at least Burnett, because that's what I'm going to have to do to get my time out of it. I would say it's less than a 30-minute make, for sure, right around 30 minutes, which to me is a $10, $12 item, at least. So if I can do it in jumbo yarn and actually it'd probably be twice the size and get 15 out of it, kind of like I do the rubber ducks, or I did the cardinal, from Poggy's Place cardinal I made in jumbo yarn, and price them at $15, then I'll probably do that, but it's still a good pattern. So cute little Poggy's Place elephant. If you're looking for a ton of tiny little makes and you love to make tiny things, Poggy's Place has just got everything. Everything under the sun. She's also the one that did the Dachshund and the Labrador puppy pack thing I tested a couple weeks ago. So this is the 4th and last paid pattern that I tried this week that I hadn't made before. So Poggy's Place elephant. Okay, let's talk about the free ones next. So this is Mochi the Capybara. Cute. Oh my goodness, cute, cute. I really enjoyed this and it was super fast. I am going to make more of these for sure. I don't know if it was just me or if it's the actual pattern, but see how his head kind of like, see if you can see it. His head kind of like turns this way. I don't know if that was just something to do with my increases or what, but it's like I have an increase or something right there that made him look like he's looking off to the side. Because his little feet are right here. See what I mean? Anyway, free pattern on Instagram from Sweet Beans Crochet, which is Robin here on YouTube. Super fast, and you wouldn't even have to do the color changes if you didn't want to, but really the color changes aren't hard. It's first round dark, and then you join back in just to do these little ears, and then the rest of it's all one color. But this is Alize Velluto yarn that I'm going to talk about later, which is a little bit smaller maybe than Bernette, about the same size as Sweet Snuggles. So it's comes out a decent size. I'm going to put 10 on this and throw it in my $10 bin. I make another Capybara that's from Plushie Co Patterns. It's much bigger than this, twice the size of this, that I do 15 or 16 on, that take obviously longer because it is bigger. But this was so cute and tiny. I will definitely be trying to make a few more of these. But this is Mochi the Capybara, free pattern on Instagram by Sweet Beans Crochet, Robin here on YouTube. So recommend this pattern, easy to follow too. Okay, and the last free pattern I tried that I hadn't tried before is this cute little mouse. Oh my gosh, look at this chunky little thing. But this mouse is from Cluck and Buzz Crochet. Never heard of this account. Somehow seen it on my feed, I think one day, showed up in my feed or my For You page, I'm not really sure, on Instagram. And I saved it and I came back to it and I'm like, I'm gonna make that. And this is Alize Velluto yarn, so bigger than a Parfait Chunky style yarn, but maybe smaller than the Bernette blanket. Somewhere in between is where that usually lands. Super adorable. I love this little shape from the side especially. I did struggle a little bit. You can see my baubles with my eyes and my ears aren't exactly lined up. I struggled a little bit with this first row, and I feel like I mean, I obviously couldn't, I guess I could have went back, but by the time I did the second row of feet, which is the back feet, I was like, ugh, I think I should have had that one more stitch. But just the way it goes sometimes when you're trying to figure out where a bobble should be. When I crochet, I yarn over, which is controversy. You know, it's like most people who do amigurumi suggest that you yarn under, and it does make a very pretty clean stitch, but I have been crocheting forever and have yet to train my brain to yarn under. I have done a few projects that way, but because I yarn over, my stitches are taller. And also because of my tension, not just because I yarn over, my stitches are taller, and because of my tension, my starting stitch, it really, it travels. So, some people, depending on how you do your hands and your tension and how tight and everything is, your starting stitch could stay a little bit more straight. But mine travels a lot. So I'm adjusting bobbles constantly on projects. So I have learned to look ahead and be like, okay, how many stitches are going to go between them? And so I'll go count and be like, okay, so here's where they're thinking the midpoint is, and I'll count back and be like, okay, that's the stitch I want my bobble in. And it's not hard for me to do just because I'm so used to it. But anyway, I've just gotten used to it. I never just follow a pattern and put the bobbles where they say without blindly looking at where it lands compared to the rest of the project, because I know better. But every once in a while, I think on Robin's pattern, Robin has an opossum pattern, and I think on Robin's pattern, maybe I didn't have to move them. I don't know if it's because me and Robin just have similar attention. And I also think there's one of my patterns, maybe Basil, the hamster, where she didn't have to move them either, but just sometimes depends. Now there are days even on my own patterns when I sit down and I do my own, and I wrote it for me and my tension, and I've done it before, but some days I sit down and my tension is just different that day and I have to move things. I mean, I had to do that the other day, even on my own Sitting Birds pattern. I don't know if I just, because of the hook and a different type of yarn I was trying or what, or if I was just stressed and my tension was tighter, but I even had to move it on my own. So, I mean, it's just something you gotta get used to when you do amigurumi. And I don't fault the designer for that, because I just feel like that's the way that it is. So, anyway, this is called a Market Mouse. It's by Cluck and Buzz Crochet on Instagram, and it is free. And it is just cute. It's a cute little pattern, cute little mouse. I'm gonna put $10 on him and throw him in my $10 bin. See if I can sell them. Okay, that's the last of my free ones. So I did my 4 paid, 2 free, and then we're going to talk about my pattern test. Okay, my sweet friend Ashley from Going Crochet designed her first pattern this last few weeks, and she asked if I would work it up for her. And of course, she's done the same for me, so I will do the same for her. This is her Crayon and Pals, I think is what her actual pattern is called, because she has a tall, this is the tall version, she has a stubby shorter version, and then she has a pencil mod, which the pencil's a little sharper on the top and obviously has different color changes in it so that it has an eraser and the little metal band and everything in it. Super cute. Sorry, I said it again. This pattern is also designed to, has a little loop here where you can stick your finger in it, or it's got like a little hole. And the other arm though is designed with like a little bobble at the end of it. And the point is that you can then attach this bobble to the next pal's open hole, so they could be strung together if you wanted. If you don't really want to do that, you could just literally make both arms the same way so that you don't have one arm that's different than the other arm. That wouldn't be hard to do. But this is Posh. This is made out of Posh. He's a little leggy guy. I made him a little little worried face. My daughter Casey picked out these colors because she said that this looks like the Robin Egg Blue crayon, which was her favorite crayon. This is the color of the sleeve, and this is the... I'm like, okay, whatever you say, girl. And so she wants this when I'm done because it just reminds her of something about the Robin Egg Blue color when she was a kid that she just really loved. So she would like to have this guy. And so I'm like, you got it. So there is obviously some color changes, no sewing involved with this pattern. It is fairly simple and easy. Ashley has it up on her Ko-Fi page. So I'll link that below, her Instagram, but I'll also link her Ko-Fi listing below so that you can visit her page and support her if you want to try out this little crayon. But anyway, super easy. This is Posh, so it's got structure to it, which I love about Posh, is if you want something to stay shaped, like keychains need a little more structure, or like my Stanley little tumblers I make in Posh for the keychains. I love that because they actually stay shaped like a tumbler and don't get flattened or pushed out too far. And I think the same goes for this little crayon, and Posh works really, really well. So anyway, congrats to Ashley on the release of her first pattern. Super easy to work up, easy pattern to read. It's definitely beginner friendly. So cute little crayon pal. Okay, so that was the last of the new stuff that I tried this week. Let me show you everything else I did this week. We'll talk about everything else I made this week, and then also the new patterns that I'm going to release, because those patterns that I worked up will go into my inventory this week. Okay, so I made 5 chicken nuggets, the little bitty mini ones. So, you know, I make the little emotional support ones, but I also make these little $5 ones with different faces, worried ones, mean ones, happy, smiley ones. This is Alize Velluto yarn as well. I can make a body for this in like 7 minutes. I mean, like, they're so fast. I made three or four of these on my lunch break one day, and then I brought them home, put the eyes on, stuffed them a little bit, you know, sew them closed, sew them all closed, and did the little faces. So I think total, I mean, you got maybe 10 minutes in each one, which is why I can do $5, 10, maybe 12. You can do $5 on them and you're not losing a lot of money, and it's a quick little $5 item somebody can grab. So this is basically the same pattern that I used for the large emotional support chicken nuggets, except for this is just a different size yarn, and I just use plain black safety eyes on these, and my other ones I use either big, really pretty felt eyes, or I use glitter eyes. So a couple of these are, that one's a little taller than the rest of them, but this is just a free-handed pattern of mine. I just, every single time I make one, I think I make it just a little bit different shaped. I kind of just wing it every single time. I kind of have my own little, I mean, it's got kind of a format, but I literally just wing it, which means it's really mindless. This is a crab that I made. This is Burnett blanket yarn, old formula, which I absolutely hate, but this is a crab pattern by Kaylin's Crochet. It's on Instagram. It's free as well. I have made this before, but in a parfait chunky style yarn, and sold them in my $10 bin, and really enjoyed the pattern. But when I went to go make it in Burnett, thinking I can make it in Burnett and it'll be bigger, I should have not chose this old formula red, but and for some reason I struggled with this pattern this last time. I did not struggle. I don't feel like I struggled the first time I made it. Maybe I did, but anyway, I'll still link the pattern below for you to try if you want to try, but it is free on Instagram. I feel like I overstuffed them a little bit, but it's just a little crab. I sold both of the other ones that I made last time, so I might still make a few more, but maybe in Alize Velluto yarn, or even Posh or something. So, oh, I'm gonna do 10. Sorry, I'm gonna do 10 on the crab. Okay, told you I was gonna try to focus on small makes this week, 15 and below, so I tried to stick by that. This is a little baby turtle pattern that is free on Instagram as well, from lmsart.co and cofire.co. Together they made this little pattern. This is in the Posh yarn. I used to make these in Sweet Snuggles and put them in my $8 bin. I got rid of all of my Sweet Snuggles, and so I have Posh, Alize Velluto yarn, and Burnett, and I have some Premier Basics chenille now. I tried it in Posh to see how small it would be, and it is very tiny. So I'll have this one and I'll put it in my $8 bin. But then I went on to make it in the Alize Velluto yarn, and same exact pattern. I made 3 of them, and it is so much bigger than the Posh. The little Posh turtle is very tiny. It's adorable. I thought about adding a little swing to him, because I sell the swinging animals for 10, so I thought I could add a little swing, which takes me like 2 minutes, and put him at 10, which is basically the same price. I'm going to put these at 10, I think. But you just make the head. The head is super simple and easy on this pattern, and I just batch made some turtle heads, and then I sat down one night and made the shells, and then I reattached the yarn, and there's just like a couple rounds to the bottom and you're done. I mean, it's like super fast. So I'm gonna put these in a $10 bin, and I think I am gonna put a swing on this guy and put him in the swinging animals. So that'll be cute. A little swing underneath him right here with a little strap around him. So I'm just dropping turtles everywhere. Hold on. Okay, so I made 4 baby turtles. One is only going to be, well, I guess I'll be $10 now if I add a swing to that one. Okay, baby chickens. I made these 2. Got some faux on them. I mean, these two little baby chickens, I winged this pattern. Oh, did you like it? I winged it. Okay. Again, that was horrible. My kids would be so embarrassed. Mini chickens, I made this pattern up and I wrote it in my little book. It's somewhere between, it's not as small as the baby Mabel. It is not as big as the hatching chick from Louis and Berg. It is somewhere in the middle. And this is Alize Velluto yarn. And I'm going to put these in an $8 bin. Tara was making the Mabels, a version of Mabel actually. I think she's using a free pattern on Instagram. She didn't actually buy Mabel. But she was making Mabels and I think she's over it. And she was charging 12 for them. 10 or 12. I think she was charging 10 because they're a little bit smaller than regular Mabels. And I'm like, I'll just make some little baby chicks and maybe I'll make a few more of these. And they just look fat and squatty and they're just cute. I just made this pattern up. So based on other things, right? Okay, two little baby chicks. I made a rubber duck this week. This is the Nana's Hook Nook Bubbles the Duck keychain sized. This is the keychain sized pattern on Nana's Hook Nook on Etsy, but it's in jumbo yarn. So this is a very fast, I mean these take me less than 30 minutes to make. And you just start at the top, work your way down, you chain out some to make this, and then you single crochet down, and then you come back and surface crochet the beak on. It's super fast. So I made another, and I sell these for 15, and they do really well. I just have a bunch of different colored ones sitting in a little basket. I hear a lot of little kids are drawn to them, but also a lot of adults who are like, I need one of those for my Jeep or whatever. So, excuse me. So anyway, I made just one and I put little fun glitter eyes. I did not paint these. These are 23mm flat backs that I buy, and I do paint some of these, but I just using the glitter backings that came with them for this particular thing. When I actually paint them and everything, it's like they're worth another $1 or $2 because of the time and energy. So no one's gonna know. No one but me is gonna know that these are not hand painted. So anyway, rubber duck, Nana's Hook Nook, $15 jumbo yarn. And then I had jumbo yarn out and I was gonna make another rubber duck. And my son picked out the colors and I'm like, you know what? Like, let me try something else that's small in a jumbo yarn and that I already have a pattern for. So I broke out my Crochet with Bay hippo pattern, the little baby hippo pattern in jumbo yarn. I'd never made it in jumbo yarn before, but isn't it adorable in jumbo yarn? This is the Michael's, that discontinued variegated. This is the green version of that variegated yarn. And actually these are hand painted eyes from Saucy Puffin Crafts, Mallory, that I got in my advent calendar. I just thought that they matched it really well. Super adorable. I mean, it's no sew. You work it from the front to the back, this pattern. And I've made it before in Burnett, and I had made it in Parfait Chunky. It just turns out so small, which is fine if you are super, super fast at it and you want to charge $5, $6, $7 for it. But I think I'm going to put, what did I write down? I think I'm going to put 15 on this guy. Let me grab the duck. I mean, obviously he's laying down instead of sitting up, but I mean, really, they're almost the same size. So I think I'm going to try 15 on this, and I might make a couple more of the hippos and like put them in a thing together. 15. We're going to try it. My light went out. Sorry. Hold on. Looky there. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Maybe that's okay. Okay, anyway, that was everything that I made this week besides my brand new patterns, which we're going to talk about now. So I do have a Sitting Birds 3.0. I have 1.0, which has a rooster / chicken, a penguin, and a pigeon in it. Then my second pack has a seagull, a pelican, a duck, and a Why can't I think of it? Cardinal. Oh my gosh. A cardinal, a mallard, a seagull, and a pelican is in the 2.0 pack. It's too many birds. Too many birds, y'all. Okay. And then this pack, I wanted to, I had a lot of requests for a blue jay and a robin. So this pack includes a blue jay and a robin. And then sorry, my nose itches all the fuzz. I have a, quite a few Australian subscribers and friends on my Instagram. And I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna throw out a few that had Australian birds. Do I know anything about Australian birds? No, I don't. But I can look them up and I can make a pattern that kind of looks like them, and hopefully you guys like them. So this is the blue jay. This little spike on the top. I would suggest, and I didn't do it on this one, but I would suggest when I'm done, I usually do it, but I was just too worried about the end. But when I get done, before I close up the top, when I finish off the white, I would normally leave a really long tail, and I would actually take my white and I would loop it back through some of these starting and ending things to kind of just like clean up some edges. And it takes me a whole like 3 minutes to do so, and I just do so with my ending, finishing off tail inside before I really close the whole thing. Yeah, I can still do it now that it's all closed up. It's just you're gonna have more stuffing come out of the holes to do so, but it is really easy to do before you close it all up, and just use your fastening off yarn inside. So something that you could try if you have issues with these color changes and this bothers you. But anyway, this is Burnett, and more of a country blue than it is a bright blue, obviously gray, black, and white. This is the blue jay. This is the robin, which, you know, the American robins anyway have this orange belly, orange, the breast of the robin is orange, but really the back of the robin is gray. So I wanted to make sure that, and the wings are gray, that you got the orange effect, but you also, you know, the back of the bird wasn't orange. And then we just put little eye highlights in here so you can see his eyes among the black, because a lot of times the tops of their heads gradually get darker than their wings and feet and stuff. So this is the robin. Next up is the cockatoo, which is one of the Australian birds. Tail feathers, gray, has a, I think it's a yellow crested cockatoo that actually has this yellow spike. Some of them are taller than other spikes, and then some of them have this yellow coloring kind of on their cheeks. So I just went ahead and added that as an option. Anyway, this is the cockatoo. And this is the galah. So my daughter was like, they actually have these birds like in the wild in Australia. And I'm like, that's what Google tells me. Google tells me these are actually in the wild, which, I mean, maybe my Aussie friends can tell me whether that's true or not. Whether like you can literally see a galah or cockatoo like just in your tree outside. That would be so weird. But to us, like, we just have little birds like robins and cardinals and blue jays and blackbirds, you know, that finches, that kind of thing out like in the wild where I live. So like there are no fancy, I mean, there's owls and there's bald eagles actually where I live, which are hawks, that kind of stuff, but nothing like, anyway, if we want to see a cockatoo or a parrot or anything colorful like this, we'd have to go to a zoo. So I just think it's crazy. Anyway, this is a galah. And just, this is the kind of the coloring of a galah if you've never seen one. So I did a little darker gray on the bottom and a lighter gray tail feather as it went up, you know, got lighter, same as with its wings. And then the top of their head a lot of times is a lighter pink. And then they don't always have, you can optional, you can add this little crown to the top. Some of them have a crown like this at the top that kind of, I don't know if why. I'm not a bird expert, y'all, so maybe you know why, and maybe it makes less sense to have that. And because I thought about doing, and you could do it yourself, right, in the pattern, thought about doing this type of spike on the gala instead, but I guess you could change it up if you'd rather have this type on here. But it looked kind of like it was more, like it was kind of all the way around and back and not just down the middle like the cockatoo was. So hopefully I did these justice. Again, would love to have some of my Aussie friends and subscribers test some of these and give some feedback if you think it's not authentic to the bird or what you normally would see, and I would appreciate that. So the tester call for these guys is out now. I'm gonna leave it up until right now it says will end by 2/4, which is Tuesday, but I'll end it earlier if I can get the patterns written up and ready, completely ready. I mean, they're written up, but they're just not like in a format to where I'd want to send them out. But once I have them completely ready, and there's more than enough testers already applying, but I'll take all of you that don't want to apply. I can't obviously pick everybody, but it might be before Tuesday when I pick people. So if you go on Monday night or Tuesday morning and it's already closed, just know that I obviously had everybody I needed and I went ahead and got it finished. So my goal is to pick testers and send out the pattern by Tuesday evening and then have them back by Friday, which I know is quick turnaround. When my creative juices flow, I like to flow and I like to get moving. I've tested the bird itself, the bird shape and the bird, sorry, I dropped my robin. The bird shape and the bird basic construction are very similar on a lot of these. So it's just really the color changes and the instructions for the different spikes and crowns and things on them that need testing. So I'll probably just pick 3 or so per bird, which means I'll have 12 testers total, possibly, that are gonna work on them. You'll get all the birds when you test, and but you'll just be assigned at least one of them, so I know that there's at least 3 people working on each bird, and I have pictures of and have feedback from at least 3 different people on each bird. It's kind of how I like to do it. I also asked this time if you are a subscriber or you have never tested before to let me know, and I want to try to pick a few newbies. I always pick some newer people. I go to their pages and can kind of tell that they're don't have as many posts, but their crochet looks nice. But I do still look at your page and look at the quality of your work. If you are not, if you're crocheting inside out, or you're not, your projects are really wonky, or you're stuffing them really odd, or something in the pictures that you're posting on Instagram are just, that's going to affect whether or not you can really test a pattern's ability to look like what it's supposed to in some ways, just because you're just so new to stitching, to the stitches and to the techniques and stuff like that. So it's like you need to be new and a beginner, because but also skilled enough in the actual stitches and some of the techniques that you're able to take a good picture, and your stitches are, you're doing your stitches correctly and not inside out and that kind of thing. So I do consider a lot of that. So I'll go through, and if I don't pick you, that doesn't mean that I thought your stuff was wonky. Let's see. I think that's it about the birds. Hopefully by next week's video, the testing will be done. The final pattern will be put together maybe next Saturday, if everybody gets to it and nothing grand happens in my life to offset everything. And that I'll get it released before or on Sunday next week when I actually do my video. So I've got 3 weeks from yesterday to the market. So this will be my last pattern, I think, till at least this market is over. And then I will be focusing solely on retreat, because it's a couple weeks after that. That me and April from the Cozy Buckeye are co-hosting our spring retreat in Kentucky. So we will be doing that in March. We have some videos planned for you guys, some content with us together planned for you guys as well. If you guys know April from the Cozy Buckeye, if you don't, you should go follow her. So we're like separated at birth twins. I think every time we talk, we're like Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah, that's too. Oh yeah, that's the way I am too. So it's funny. Okay, yarn. Let's talk about the yarn. And I'm going to give you a little bit more detail about this yarn and some comparisons of different brands on the screen the best that I can. I'm going to try to describe it to you the best that I can. Okay. This is the Alize Velluto yarn on my hand here. This is obviously the orange variation. I know that it's hard to tell from this picture, but it is not shiny. It is more of a blanket feel than it is a velvety feel. Okay, so this is the Alize Velluto. This next to it now is the Mystical, which I've told people like it's more similar to the Mystical yarn as far as thickness. You can see here, yeah, maybe it's easier if I do it on my flat palm. It is definitely very similar in thickness, except for the Burnett is maybe a little bit more shaggy. The Alize Velluto has more of a rounded structure to it. Maybe, I don't know how she would, a tighter weave or something that you would say. It's Mystical with it. Okay, so I'm going to put up a bright pink that is Premier Basics Chenille. Okay, so bright orange, the more muted orange Burnett, and then this bright pink is Premier Basics Chenille. Very, very similar. Sometimes the Premier Basics Chenille it has, see how it has kind of flat spots in it? It's like when you turn it to the side, it's not tubular all the way around. Alize can be just a little bit like that, but it's still, for the most part, I feel like it's more round all the way around. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. And then next, I'm going to put up this green, and this is Sweet Snuggles Light. Okay, see how, I mean, Sweet Snuggles Light is plushy and is plush all the way around. This is old formula. Old formula Sweet Snuggles Light, guys. You're like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. You get the old formula. But old formula, plushy all the way around, tubular, thick, but does have more of a, like maybe a velvety feel. This is the Mystical. The orange is the Alize Velluto. All very, very similar. For size comparison, this light pink is Posh. So you guys, it's very, very much, it's thicker than Posh for sure. Okay. So still, this orange is the Alize Velluto. Okay. Okay. Here's the front of the skein. Here's the full skein. I'm going to show you again, like, the Sweet Snuggles with it, because every once in a while you'll find a flat, like this Alize Velluto, when you're pulling from the middle, it's got like a flat spot, but I think it's not from the manufacturer. I think it's more of like it got so tightly wound in the center ball when it was like being produced or something, but it is very similar in size. It's not shiny though. It's not velvety. It's got a little bit more of a blanket texture. And then this is the Sweet Snuggles Light or Chanel Home Slim. It's one of those two. To me, they're the exact same thing. So, this is 100 grams. They come in 100 gram skeins, which is the same as Parfait Chunky. So they are smaller balls. This is 74.3 yards. It's made in Turkey. 74.3 yards, which is almost identical to how many grams per yard to yardage is in Sweet Snuggles Light, except for those balls are way bigger, obviously. Now, the cheapest deal I have found on this, I found a few deals. There's not really, I have not yet found a really great in-stock distributor in the United States that has this ready to be shipped from a United States location. I think I found one last night, but I didn't get all the way to the shipping page before I went to bed. Anyway, I was afraid I was going to end up checking out with more yarn I don't need right now because those cabinets are full. But anyway, I have not found a US based ready to ship distributor of this yarn yet. I love this yarn so much that I have actually asked about being a distributor. I'm like, I will stock it, I will ship it for you. But right now, you're going to pay around anywhere from $3 to $5 per skein, which is, I know that's a lot. Plus some shipping sometimes depending on what place you're buying it at and how much you're buying it at. My suggestion to you, if you're willing to have a little bit more of an expensive yarn, to have one that has consistency and has a really great color selection, there are 3 packs of skeins on Amazon for like 20 bucks. You get 3, which is not very much. I get that. It's $20 is a lot of money, but that's including the shipping, and it's ready to ship, I think, right now. So you get 3 skeins ready to ship to you right away, and it's all one color. Try it out, work with it, get a color that you know that you can use. I've actually paired this some with the thinner Burnett baby blanket and the Mystical, and it's done fine. But anyway, my suggestion, if you love this yarn, is to buy, and you're really serious about switching your stash over to it, is to buy a 3-pack on Amazon. Get it, try it, work with it. And then there are a few options. HobennisYarn.com is where I got mine at. And if you are a first-time customer, you can get a 20% off coupon. And if you order over $250, you can get free shipping. That's a lot of yarn, but that's what I did over here. Is I used a 20% off coupon and I used free shipping. It still took 3 weeks to get here, almost 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe, to get here. But that got me the best deal on that shipment. They also have a wholesale program, Hobennis Yarn does, but you have to order over $500 to get 15% off later. So you have to do 500 to get 15%, which is still a lot. The other deal I found is on Faire, F-A-I-R-E, Faire, which is a place, if you have a registered business and a wholesale account, you can buy wholesale on that account. So I have a state registered Illinois business, and you can go in and say that I'm going to use the stuff that I buy to sell, or I'm going to use it in products that I'm going to sell. And I set mine up as I did my account and everything, and then I was like, this particular product, I registered my account, I'm going to use this yarn, not to resell the yarn, but I'm going to use it to produce things to resell that is handmade. So, and if you get your account approved and registered on Faire, there is someone selling it on there for $2 something a skein, but not free shipping still. And so you still will pay some shipping. It's still shipping from Turkey. It's still going to take some time to get to you. So while I highly recommend this yarn and I absolutely love it, and it has a great selection of browns, if you'll see that down there, there's like 5 or 6 different shades of brown, which are really good shades of brown. I wish the skeins were bigger and it wasn't as expensive. Just be cautious. Like, I don't like to be an enabler of someone and like put you in a bad situation and for you to hate it. Like, do your due diligence and make sure that it is something that you really want to do, that you tried it and you really, really like it. And be smart about where you buy it from and combining the right types of deals so that you get the skeins for as cheap as you can. And, you know, you don't pay, you know, $3 something. I think I ended up paying $3 something a skein for this, which it takes 3 of those, I think, to, let me look at a Burnett skein. Yeah, these are 300 grams. So it takes 3 of those to make one skein of Burnett, which would be equivalent to paying around $9 for a skein of Burnett. Which I know you can get better deals on Burnett. You can get it for $7 sometimes on Joann's when you're doing their deals plus a coupon plus a pickup or something. But I mean, retail on that's $12, $13 a skein. So just know that, you know, it's just really, my opinion, it's all been really good yarn. The only downfall I have so far is the grays colors. There is a, is it a stone gray or a light gray? A medium gray and a dark gray. I did not order the dark gray. I ordered the other 2 grays, the lighter one and the medium one, and they're both very blue grays. They are not gray grays. They look kind of gray on the pictures, but like this one is one of the grays, color 416. This is one of the grays, and I don't consider this gray. Let's see, this is white. You can kind of see it's kind of got a blue tint to it. So I actually put it away with all the blues up here, and then I looked down at all my neutrals at the bottom, and I'm like, did I not order any gray? And I went back to my sheet, and I'm like, oh, no, I ordered 2 grays, and then I had to literally pull them out, and I'm like, oh, these are supposed to be grays, and I put them up with the blues because I thought they were blues. So that's and I need to get the dark gray. I think the dark gray is going to be more gray, but I don't want to just order it by itself and pay like $6 a skein to get it shipped here. So I probably will wait until I need more of it to get it the dark gray color. I can tell you whether or not the dark gray is nice. So, okay, guys, I think that is all I have today. That's all I had on my list. Man, I chatted up to an hour again today, except for I've got to cut some parts out where I dropped things and had to get up and change my light and get out something out of the cabinet. Also, I restocked my safety eyes. I got 4 packs of sinkers and 4 packs of flatbacks stocked last night on Etsy that I made yesterday. So if you have been waiting for me to restock those, limited amount, there's only 8 packs total between the 2 styles listed on my Etsy. So go run and get those if you have been waiting for those. And don't forget about the tester call. Go apply today if you're interested, because I may shut it down in the next day or 2. I think that's all. Thank you guys again for all of your amazing support on my pattern launches lately. They have just blown my mind. The amount of people that have bought the pattern, shared it, reviewed it, liked it, tagged me in posts. It's just been what's been keeping me going lately. And I think that these last sitting birds will probably be it for a little bit between the market and the retreat and stuff going on this spring. So I just want to let you know that, you know, that it may be it for a little bit. Who knows? Creative juices may flow and it may not, but right now I think that's kind of my plan. So, guys, if you have anything to comment about either the Aussie birds, the tester call, the yarn itself, you have questions, comments, any of that stuff, leave them down below. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments below. Or on Instagram, tag me, message me. Love to talk to you there as well. Have a great day, guys. If I forgot anything, I apologize. I'm so sorry. And go check out Ashley from Going Crochetsy's pattern release for the little crayon dude. He's adorable. So have a great week, guys. We will talk to you later. Happy crocheting. We'll see you. Bye.